बापा श्रीनी जय, सदगुरु श्रीनी जय, स्वामीनारायण भगवाननी जय तथा अनंत अनादि मुक्तोनी जय. A humble prayer in their lotus feet, and our Guru Anadi Muktraj Param Pujya Narayan Mama and Leela Masi's lotus feet, to augment this assembly with their divinity and grace, and to enhance our knowledge and guide us towards them. Now at a very interesting point in our journey. Over last 12 satsangs, we have understood soul, body, mind, deities, Trinity, Virat Purusha, Ahankar, which is of three types, Anirudh, Pradyumna and Sankarshan, Mahatattva, Pradhan Purush, Mood Purush, Vasudev Brahm, Mood Akshar and Lord Swaminarayan. Through this journey we have understood how big, powerful and extensive the world up there is. We took references from all streams of science, all religions, and eventually resorted to faith we built through our journey to understand the knowledge where there were no references. Having understood all that, we feel, well, a little small and insignificant, don't we? But the reality is that what is in the potential of the stratum of the soul in a human birth is not in the potential of any other stratum. Through the meager efforts during a lifetime of human being, which is nothing compared to other higher lifespans, one can transition or progress to any level in the hierarchy. That is the gift given only to us. Similar to the saying my mom keeps mentioning, a sword cannot do what a needle can do. The reason is that in our stratum, the powers, the luxuries, the pleasures, the resources are very little. So it is easier to overcome the desires and the bindings and progress to higher levels of liberation. This is something that Anadi Muktraj Param Pujya Narayan Mama explained to us, that we are privileged. The privilege comes in the form of an internal spiritual journey, not in the form of external space travel, etc. So let's look at how the souls can progress and what happens on that journey. When a creation happens and Mood Maya emerges from Mood Purush, and the souls get their first birth in that creation, it is the only time that the souls have the independence to do any activity and perform any action without any karma bindings. Karma bindings are the fruits of karma that attach to the soul. We had talked about that a little bit when we were talking about soul, body, and mind. And in its true sense, only the first action is free from karma bindings. All subsequent actions are in one way or another affected by the effects of previous actions, and so are the subsequent births. Our ability to perform action is part free will and part fruits or results of past karma. As we get more and more bound, our free will reduces, and the results of past karma and the bindings arising from those take over. We then mechanically keep going from one life to another. The key in all this is to avoid bindings due to karma in order to be able to exercise free will. This we saw early on is possible if we can contain our emotions and emotional attachment to the activities and fruits of the activities. We have talked about memory being created only if emotions from amygdala are feeding into it. But it is a vicious circle. More bound we are, more attached we become, more bound we become, and on it goes. So the key to freedom or liberation is becoming free from these bindings. It is the first step. So how to overcome the attachment? There are many paths to overcoming the attachment. One is to lovefully attach to Almighty God Swaminarayan or any other form that one worships through tremendous devotion, the path of Prem Lakshana Bhakti. Second is the path of Dharma or obeying the codes of conduct. We can think of codes of conduct as the boundaries of mathematical equation defining the path of attainment of higher levels. Third is the path of knowledge or Gnan, which we took over past 12 weeks. And fourth is the path of detachment or Vairagya, where one gets detached from everything, considering it to be futile, and connects only with God. While each is important, and in its ultimate form, just like all streams of science culminate in the theory of creation, all streams to overcome attachment culminate in the God that one worships. So all four, Dharma, Gnan, Vairagya and Bhakti, culminate into attainment of the form of God that one worships. For our series, we will stay with the path of knowledge, and sometime in future, maybe we will talk about other paths as well. So on the path of knowledge, the first step in overcoming attachment is control of mind and senses. Both of these can be attained to one singleton activity, which is called meditation. So in management, we are taught to use meditation to overcome stress. Scientific studies have shown that meditation reduces the stress hormones in the body and helps one relax. There is a very recent research done in genetics that there is a gene that gets activated by stress, which leads to inflammation of cells. The constant inflammation of cells can lead to other diseases like diabetes, heart disease, etc. The research done in the field of neurotheology. So neurotheology is a field where scientists are trying to map the effects of theological practices or religious practices in our nervous system or the neural system. So research done in this field of neurotheology shows that meditation turns this stress gene off, thus helping us and our body deal better with stress and avoid stress-related diseases. In other words, meditation has the power to heal. So meditation helps one become a better manager or a management person. It helps one better heal one's own body. And though now the world talks about meditation, everybody in the world is talking about meditation these days, originally the path of meditation and spiritual progress through meditation has been laid down only by Hindu and Buddha or Buddhist religion. Gautam Buddha more or less had his roots in Hinduism as well. Muslims follow the path of Sufism and prayer. Christians follow the path of prayer, church, and good deeds. Judaism follow the path of meditation to some extent, mainly through chanting and talking to God. And Hinduism does all of that. Plus, it has given the gift of meditation to the world. But what is meditation? In Sanskrit, and the languages derived from Sanskrit like Gujarati and Hindi, the word dhyan is used for meditation as well as when we want to do something with focus and attention. Parents often ask their children, "Dhyan deine banje," meaning study with focus and attention. Do not get distracted. So dhyan is nothing but focus or attention, and this should be undistracted. More advanced the subject, deeper is the focus and attention that is needed. So meditation in particular means cultivation of focus and attention to attain spiritual progress and freedom. In order to do that, it requires a lot of internal energy, which can be derived by sublimation of some body hormones into spiritual energy. These hormones can be accumulated through observation of celibacy. Now, there are many ways to meditate. Science has researched that what exactly happens when one meditates. So they put those electrodes on the head of the person who is meditating and they try to find out what happens inside the brain. And when Judaïsts meditate, since they meditate by talking to God, their brain's language center gets activated. When Buddhists meditate, since they visualize, their vision center gets activated. When atheists meditate, nothing in their brain gets activated. Most Hindu meditations are also related to the sense of vision. When during meditation, a particular brain center of the senses gets activated, Sriji Maharaj has called it meditation in the senses. Sriji Maharaj goes on to explain that meditation is not complete. Meditation in the mind or man is better than meditation in the senses. The mind, as we discussed earlier in the series, could be the pituitary gland or located in the pituitary gland. When the meditation happens here, all the chemicals in the body come in harmony and everything calms down. All the chatter and all the noise subsides and there is peace. Higher energy state emerges and the path for progression opens up. At this point, there are two paths. First is to transition into meditation in the soul, and second is to go through the process of activation of energy centers or chakras. If one follows the former, which is meditation in the soul, the latter automatically happens. But if one follows the latter, the former may not happen for a long time. The path of meditation in soul is primarily emphasized by Lord Swaminarayan, Sri Abji Bapashri, and Anadi Muktraj Param Pujya Narayan Mama. So having talked about three primary places for meditating, in the senses, in the mind, and in the soul, let's spend some time on what happens when a soul meditates. Suppose a soul was meditating on Lord Vishnu through whichever path of meditation. The soul realizes Lord Vishnu and merges with Lord Vishnu. At the time of Prakrut Pralay, Lord Vishnu will merge into Vairat Purush into Ahankar, and so on. So eventually the soul will merge into Mood Maya and Mood Maya into Mood Purush. still bound. At the time of next creation by that Mood Maya and Mood Purush, while the slate of karma will be wiped clean, since the soul had progressed to the level of devotee of Lord Vishnu, he will be born either as a devotee of Lord Vishnu or as Lord Vishnu of some other trinity in the new creation. The same goes with all the levels, all the way up to Mood Maya. So while there is progression, there is no liberation from the cycle of birth, death, rebirth, creation to creation to creation. So it is not real liberation. Beyond Mood Maya is the world of divine brilliance, and this world is filled with brilliance of infinite Mood Purush, brilliance of infinite Vasudev Brahm, brilliance of infinite Mood Akshar, and brilliance of Supreme Lord Sri Swaminarayan. Not only the brilliance or the immanent form, the divine world also has the transcendent or definite divine form as well. The soul who has been meditating on a definite divine form realizes the definite divine form of that spiritual stratum, and this is for the divine world. So, for example, the soul meditating on definite divine form of Lord Krishna would realize Lord Krishna. Now let's think about what would happen to someone who is meditating on formless God. Now to explain that, let's imagine someone living in a lonely farm in Wisconsin, be placed in New York City in the blink of an eye. This person will be extremely confused and would not know what to do. Not knowing any influential people, this person will start interacting with the first person he or she sees. That's what happens to the soul. Many just get engrossed in their own bliss, thinking that is the end. Many tune into the brilliance of Trinity, many in the brilliance of Virat Purush, and all of them eventually merge back into Mood Maya. For those worshippers of immanent form who are able to go beyond Mood Maya in the divine world, not knowing what is what in the divine world, when the realization happens, the soul tunes in to the frequency of one of the divine brilliance it first encounters. And most of the time, it is the divine brilliance of Mood Purush, since that is the next higher divine energy level after Mood Maya. And this soul does not realize the transcendent form of Mood Purush. While being tuned into this frequency, the soul realizes that there are other brilliances as well and continues moving from one brilliance to another, either in the same stratum, because there are infinite of those, or it progresses in the realization of the immanent form of the next level. But this soul does not realize the divine form of the divine worlds till he aspires to do so. So just to clarify, for simplicity, I'm using the masculine gender in terms of language, but soul does not have a gender. So to summarize, when a soul meditates on a definite form of any level within Mood Maya, it eventually merges into Mood Maya. There is progression but not freedom. When a soul meditates on the transcendent form of any God in the divine world, the soul achieves the transcendent form of that God. When the soul meditates on the immanent form, it is more or less lost, unfortunately, does not know what level it has tuned into, and gradually finds out other brighter brilliances and keeps tuning into one after the other through human birth after birth. The soul who has achieved the transcendent form of their deity may someday aspire to progress further, take a human birth again, and progress to the next level, depending on what they aspire. So one question that is often asked is, how do we know that there is nothing above and beyond Lord Swaminarayan? How do we know that it all culminates there? I had asked this question to Anadi Mukraj Param Pujya Narayan Mama. What he answered was that many Anadi Mukto like Gopalanand Swami have explored and concluded that there is nothing beyond that. There is nothing beyond Lord Swaminarayan. If we are not able to trust that, then it would help that through the knowledge journey of past few weeks, we know that there is superiority described up to the level of Lord Swaminarayan. Let's first achieve that, since there is nothing higher to achieve as far as we know.
Good pie बढ़िया.
Once we reach the highest known level, we can explore for ourselves and find out. But let's first get there and then explore if there is something beyond that. So, a few minutes ago, we talked about 3 internal places to meditate: the senses, the mind, and the soul. Let's spend some more time talking about different forms of meditation. If one studies the Hindu scriptures, there are so many methodologies that are described. They are countless. There is control of chit by control of pran. There is the eightfold yoga practice. There is a path of energy center activation or kundalini. And then there are other meditation types. One of the most popular one these days is Vipassana, preached by the Buddhists. How do we know which one to pick for meditation? As I mentioned earlier, Different types of meditations activate different sense centers in the brain. All those parts that activate a sense center are about meditating in the sense. All the parts that talk about worshipping immanent form of God will only lead to connection with some brilliance somewhere. And even the achiever will not know for the longest time what he achieved. So what I'm trying to say is that all these paths take to a certain destination, to a certain point. And in the end, they at the most lead to realization of immanent or transcendent form of Mood Purush, or some immanent form one level up. But that's where the limit is. So for those aspirants who aspire for level of Mood Purush and below, can practice these different paths. For the realization of Lord Swaminarayan, we have to follow the paths laid down to us by Sriji Maharaj, Sri Abji Bapa Shri, and Anadi Mukto. Any other path has a risk of distraction or lower achievement. So let me explain this with an example to show why this is relevant. Some years ago, after progressing in management in my professional life, life put me in a position where I had to look for other job opportunities. It was not the first time I was looking for a job, and I was very confident to get another job, since I thought I had mastered the art of interviewing. Guess what? It took me forever to find another job. Then a friend of mine trained me in interviewing for higher level positions. I had to completely transform my approach to answers, my appearance, my posture during the interview process, the way I spoke, the tone of my speaking. Everything I knew about the art of interviewing had to be changed, just because now I wanted to try for a higher level position. It is a similar concept in spiritual progress. To progress to the highest spiritual level, every other technique except the one that will get us there should be dropped. This technique is taught to us with utmost clarity by Anadi Muktraj Param Pujya Narayan Mama. So this is where we will spend some time today. There is a lecture in Gujarati by Anadi Muktraj Param Pujya Narayan Mama on meditation. The audio and video of that is available as far as I know. The transcription of that audio is also printed by Sri Swaminarayan Divine Mission. So let's understand in English what Anadi Muktraj Param Pujya Narayan Mama has explained. If I have misunderstood or misinterpreted anything, I would request all the progressed Mukto to correct me. The first step is to select a form of Lord Swaminarayan that we like. This form should have the front posture with both eyes of Lord Swaminarayan visible and not a side posture where only one eye is visible. Anadi Mukras Param Pujya Narayan Mama used to say that the Mangala Darshan of the seated Ghanshyam Maharaj in Vadtal, the form that is established in Sri Swaminarayan Divine Mission, has a resemblance to the Divine Murti of Lord Swaminarayan. The second step is to memorize this form that we choose for meditation. To do this, we have to find a time when the mind is calm and Sattva Guna is prevailing. Yogis say that the best time is Brahma Muhurt between 3 to 4 a.m. in the morning, when the Ida and Pingda, representing intellect and emotion, are both running. So these two are in balance. And even from worldly perspective, that's when the most calm is. At this time, one should find a clean and pure place, preferably a separate room to sit down for meditation. If a separate room is not available, select a place that is the most cleanest and the calmest. Meditation generates electricity in our body using our hormones, which we have stored through celibacy, which in turn helps in spiritual progress. If our body is touching the ground, this electricity will get grounded and will be lost. So make sure to sit on something that avoids direct contact with the ground. The posture is the most known, with folded legs like Padmasana and straight back and head alignment. The form of the God we want to meditate upon should be at the same height as our eyes, so that we are able to maintain the straight posture. For memorizing the form of God, the best technique is called Tratak, where you keep looking at the form of God without blinking for as long as possible, even if tears roll down the eyes. This creates an impression on the brain and makes it easy for remembering and recalling and visualizing. So then close the eyes and try to remember the form. In the initial phases during Tratak, it may not be able to visualize the entire Murti, but only parts of it. So we can start with feet and go up all the way to the head and then journey back to the feet. And gradually we'll start visualizing larger parts of the Murti, and then eventually we'll be able to visualize the entire Murti. So the third step is, once the Murti is memorized, there is no need to do Tratak, but focusing on the Murti in between the two eyes, where the Ajna Chakra is, and visualizing it with the closed eyes. So that's the third step. The fourth step is, once the soul has practiced enough to visualize the Murti, one will be able to move the Murti around, bring it close, take it far. So at this time, bring the Murti as close as possible. We can bring it only as close as it touches us. We cannot get any closer. So in the fifth step, at this point, flip the vision and imagine your soul to be the brilliance of Lord Swaminarayan and envision the Murti in that brilliance. So this is the meditation in soul that we are talking about. And soon after that, visualize the Murti from the inside. The soul is now within the Murti and enjoying the bliss of the Murti. In step 6, we say continue meditating as in step 5 for the rest of the life. Depending on the capacity, this Ekantik Mukta will realize the divine Murti of Lord Swaminarayan during the lifetime or at the end of the life. And step 7, when the realization happens, the soul gets past Mood Maya and enters the divine world. At that very moment, since the soul has been meditating on the definite divine form of Lord Swaminarayan, the grace of Lord Swaminarayan showers and makes the soul also divinely embodied and merges with the Murti of Lord Swaminarayan, so merges with his own form. Lord Swaminarayan does that. So this is in a nutshell the meditation taught by Anadimukta Param Puja Narayan Mama. This meditation can be helpful to anyone who wants to attain transcendent form of any deity in the divine world. It is simple, straightforward, easy, and least risky. It is like we have got a chopper ride from the base of the mountain to get to the highest peak. Why worry about the many other long-drawn paths to get to the peak? Just get to the peak and enjoy the beauty. So having talked about how to get to stage 1 of the hierarchy, let's spend some time in stage 1 of the hierarchy. Heading stage 1 is sovereign, all-doer, all-controller, all-supporter, all-pervading, omniscient, self-illumined, immutable, detached, integral, everlasting, eternal, boundless, divine form of Supreme Lord Sri Swaminarayan. Baba Sri says that the Murti is not flat or two-dimensional, but is solid and has a definite form. Lovefully merged with the divine form or the Murti are the Anadimukta of Lord Swaminarayan. Anadimukta are divinely embodied and enjoy the bliss of the Murti while remaining inside the Murti. Through God's grace and meditation, when a soul becomes an Anadimukta, Anadimukta Param Puja Mama used to say that this Anadimukta, who has become Anadimukta recently, spends eons enjoying the bliss of a small part of one toenail of Lord Swaminarayan and still cannot fathom the bliss and the happiness. After many such eons, this Anadimukta starts enjoying the bliss of a larger area and eventually progresses to enjoying the bliss of the entire Murti all at once. and still cannot fathom the bliss. In this state, there is no other activity except for enjoying the bliss of the Murti. There is a constant feeling of Lord Swaminarayan being the giver of the bliss and Anadi Mukta being the enjoyer of the bliss. There is no other feeling. Once in a while, when God wishes, those mukta that progressed from the same world realize how other mukta have progressed. And that too is in the initial phases, if God wishes, but later on there is no such knowledge or awareness. Anadi Mukta, as Bapashi explains, are the queen, and all that belongs to Sriji Maharaj, the king, also belongs to the queen. In our corporate world example, we are like the family of the CEO of a company. We do not belong to the hierarchy, but we enjoy the bliss of the success of the CEO. These mukta that Abji Bapashi calls Anadi Mukta, Gopalanand Swami calls them Kaivalya Mukta. The next level are the Param Ekantik Mukta or Videhi Mukta, as Gopalanand Swami would call them. Param Ekantik Mukta reside in the vicinity of the Murti of Lord Swaminarayan. They always see the front of the Murti and feel like the Murti is facing them all the time. They can see the transcendent form, the Murti, in front of them, but are not merged with the Murti. The next level are the Ekantik Mukta or Jivan Mukta. These are the Mukta who have done spiritual endeavors to please Sriji Maharaj and become eligible for liberation. They are, however, still in the body in which they perform those endeavors, and sometimes are with Vaditanuvrutti. They meditate on the transcendent form of Lord Swaminarayan and can see the form during meditation, but have not yet realized the Murti. The way Anadi Muktraj Param Puja Narayan Mama used to explain about Mukta was that Ekantik are those Mukta who are en route the beach. Param Ekantik Mukta are those who have arrived at the beach, are enjoying the gentle breeze, walking in the wet sand, enjoying occasional mist or splash from the ocean, and dipping their feet in the water when a wave comes through. Anadi Mukta are like the divers or the surfers who enjoy the ocean by jumping into the ocean and enjoying its immense beauty and power. So here's the good news. The good news is that we have started driving to the beach. Anadi Muktraj Param Puja Narayan Mama is driving us there. He knows the shortest route to the beach for all of us, and soon we will all be there. Once we get there, he has already trained us to surf a little without our conscious knowledge, and we will start surfing as soon as we get there. So along these lines, there is one thing I wanted to touch upon. Anadi Muktraj Param Puja Narayan Mama has addressed the topic of worship of Anadi Mukta in one of his lectures. He has explained that worship of only the Mukta is not acceptable. If the Mukta is worshipped with Lord Swaminarayan, it is okay. Just as it is okay to worship Hanumanji or Radhaji. He also, however, clarifies that a Mukta will never ask or expect that they are worshipped. Anyone who proposes that is an impostor. Secondly, he used to emphasize that no matter what, the only form to meditate upon is the form of Lord Swaminarayan. No incarnations, no mukta. But it is okay to give our respectful reverence to those anadi mukta enjoying the bliss of the Murti. Now, from the Murti of Lord Swaminarayan emanates the divine brilliance. It seems like the Murti of Lord Swaminarayan resides in this brilliance, but as a matter of fact, Murti is the cause of the brilliance, and brilliance is the effect of the Murti. And this brilliance is called Akshardham. Mood Akshar in stage 2 can see only this immanent form of Lord Swaminarayan. This divine brilliance is all pervading in the perishable and unperishable world. However, this form does not interfere with the normal operation of these worlds. It is there and it is available for those who want to achieve this form, but it does not interfere. A few weeks ago we had talked about multiple Higgs bosons which interact only in their force field and go unnoticed in other force fields. It is a similar concept. The immanent form of Lord Swaminarayan is all-pervading but not interfering. It interacts only with those who want to interact with the immanent form. Just as sunlight is everywhere, equally spread, if one wants to sleep during daytime, sun god does not come and interfere, saying, "No sleep in my light." Those who sleep during daytime choose darkness over sunlight, and they are allowed to do that. They are given the independence to choose. Likewise, though the immanent form of Lord Swaminarayan and other strata of the divine world for that matter is all pervading, it does not interfere with the normal flow of the universe and let the machinery of creation run on autopilot. So if the equation of creation or equation of our world or equation created due to our karma bindings creates certain events or incidents, the immanent form of Lord Swaminarayan does not interfere unless, of course, we pray to him. The same goes with the transcendent form. It is all-pervading, but it is visible only to those who aspire to see it. To give a simple example, it is like there is a TV channel being broadcasted, but only those who tune into it will be able to watch the program. So this brings us to the end of our journey. One lady Satsangi once prayed to Anadi Muktraj Param Puja Leela Masi to bless her with progress on the path of meditation. Anadimukraj Param Puja Leela Masi replied, "You will, if you make an effort." Anadimukraj Param Puja Narayan Mama used to say that, what good are the books if they do not help in self-development? Likewise, what good is our journey if it does not lead to meditation and aspiration for the Murti? Otherwise, it is simply intellectual entertainment. So let's from now this day on aspire to attain the divine Murti of Lord Swaminarayan, the ultimate goal and the ultimate bliss, and commit to meditate every day, even if it is for 5 minutes. That will be the ultimate attainment of our journey over past few weeks. So with that, let's conclude our journey. I think we have reached our destination. I humbly bow to the feet of Supreme Lord Sri Swaminarayan, Sri Abji Bapa Sri, Anadimukraj Param Puja Narayan Mama, Anadimukraj Param Puja Leela Masi, and Anant Anadimukto, and pray to them to shower their blessings on us now and forever, and also to shower their blessings on those who listen to this series later. I also once again bow to my knowledge guru or Gnan Guru, Param Puja Jitu Kaka, Jitu Bhai Vyas, who has given many tireless hours to impart this knowledge to this meager, dumb person. I'm not sure how much I have been able to absorb from what he, Anadimukraj Param Puja Narayan Mama and Anadimukraj Param Puja Leela Masi taught me. So I request forgiveness from them as well as from the Divine Satsang to pardon my mistakes, my shortcomings and my ignorance. I also want to heartfully thank the Satsang for giving me the opportunity to render this service. It has been my utmost honor and a great learning experience. I seek blessings and prayers from the Satsang Sabha now and forever to help me progress on the spiritual path. Jai Swaminarayan, Sajanand Swami Maharaj Ni Jai.